Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Who Are You podcast. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're always happy to have a new listener, a new watcher. Anyway, you guys are checking out our content. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, make sure you guys go check out our social media. We have so much more behind the scenes stuff, little funny videos of me and Shannon going around talking to more people. So it's going to be at Who Are You Pod from everything from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all the normal spots, and including YouTube. It's going to be Who Are You podcast on YouTube. Be able to see all of our video content. We got a new podcast coming out that's going to be a little play off of this as well. It's called DGen Bets. If you guys are interested in sports or you guys are interested in sports betting, make sure you guys check out that. But today, sitting down with two very, very special guests. I was very excited for this because I saw obviously y'all's pages, all the photography, everything that you guys are involved in. Obviously, both are very busy people. So just to introduce everybody, we are sitting down with Kris, Baldwin, and also Satara, right? I got it right. Satara Murray as well. Thank you guys for taking the time to be on the show today. I was looking forward to this.
Yes, sir. Of course. Before we get everything started, I got to say my intro.
Of course. Go right ahead.
Yo. What's good, Twist fam? If you haven't smiled today, go ahead and smile. You know, it's a great day to be great, man. Let's get it started.
That's right. And I like that. And before we get too far into the conversation, if you guys want to let everybody know where they can follow you, see all your stuff on social media or any kind of work you guys are working on right now, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, we just have an Instagram. It's Jax Photographers Hub, JAX Photographers Hub. And we only have an Instagram at the moment.
And for myself, you can find me on Instagram at 2x.visions, also 2x.world, that is 2x.WRLD with 3 underscores. And you can also find me on Twitter and TikTok at 2x.originals.
Perfect, y'all. Well, like I said, welcome to the podcast. Super happy to have you guys here. And I'm going to have you move that mic just a little bit closer to your face, if that's all right. Perfect. You're perfectly fine right there. So, like I said, guys, obviously you've seen everything you guys got on the page. Obviously, photography. That's going to be a big topic today. And you guys walked in. I saw your cameras. I'm like, dang, man. Maybe I was like looking at mine. I'm like, I need to work on myself. But it's amazing to see what you guys are doing, right? And we've been very big on the topic of, how Jacksonville is starting to change, how the art scene's really starting to come in and everything. So I guess my first question for both y'all is, how'd y'all get into photography?
For myself, it was in middle school. I had a journalism class, and one of the things to do to get extra credit was help the yearbook staff get pictures at a volleyball game. Shout out to my teacher, Tammy Terry. She's like one of my favorite teachers of all time. But yeah, that's kind of where it started, and then from there, going to workshops within that same class, and then joining the actual yearbook staff there. And then I got my first camera, just kind of started doing sports and things of that nature.
Nice. What about you?
I actually started in middle school, too. My grandmother, she handed me my first camera, and it was like one of those cameras that were operated off of like the AA batteries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it was really, really old. But I started like taking pictures out in her garden. She had like a beautiful garden, vegetables, flowers, all of it. So I started taking pictures in her garden, and then from there I moved to people, and then back to nature because it was a little bit more of my scene.
I understand.
Yeah.
Are you a social butterfly? Are you a little more introverted?
If you catch me on the right day, I'll be social. On the right day, I'm introvert. So
you've been talking to me and Shannon, so I think
you guys are great people.
I appreciate it. And the reason why I'm so interested in photography, right, is obviously you guys know we're doing the YouTube and everything, right? I'm not classically taught in any way, shape, or form. Everything is from YouTube University. Yes, shout out to RAO podcast. They actually sent me the YouTube University on how to work on camera work, how to use Adobe Premiere Pro and all that stuff. And I didn't realize what all went into camera work, to be 100%. Lighting.
It's a whole nother course.
My first ever interview for YouTube, I did it, and then afterwards it was so dark, and I'm like, no. And I bought got the lights and everything. Still not perfect, but work in progress. Learning every time we post a video and stuff. But no, it's really cool that you guys picked it up at such an early age, right? We are in a technological age now where we're not using the old cameras where it just puts a print and you have to wait 6 days for everything to come in.
Right.
But so where'd you go to high school? Did you go to high school here in Jax?
Yeah, I did. So I started my high school career at Wolfson.
Okay.
And then my halfway through my junior year and the entirety of my senior year I did online, and I graduated from Duval Virtual.
Hey man, congrats!
Yes,
I say you're better than me, man. The virtual schools for me, that's where I started not doing my work.
Yeah.
That's where
I mean, by that time though, like, because Wolfson was a college prep school, so it was like super advanced. So when I did my online school, it just gave me more time to freelance and then like working with the Jaguars and doing all that type of stuff. So it was really just like get work done, go work, get work done, go work. So
how old are you, Kris?
I'm 18.
Are you only 18 years old?
Yeah, I graduated last semester.
Damn, Shannon, I'm getting old as fuck.
I know, I feel the same way.
I'm getting.
Don't worry.
You're like 4 years younger than me.
I just turned 22, but I'm like, dang.
It goes by quick, y'all. Like, I remember being 18 years old and graduating high school, and I had my thoughts and my plans on what I was going to do completely changed, you know, and that's just me personally, right?
Yeah.
I was originally going to college to go be a nurse. I wanted to work in the medical field and everything, and then COVID hit. And that kind of changed the whole thing. Me and Shannon both had to figure out jobs at the time. We were working in restaurants, and obviously during COVID time, there was no restaurants at that time, so had to kind of switch from there. And I was telling her, when you went down to go get your camera stuff, I work in HVAC, so I can I do everything from fixing your AC unit to making it clean and everything. Literally before you guys got here, I was in someone's attic sweating to death. But
that's crazy.
It is.
I couldn't.
It's one of those things. It's you either like it or you don't, right? I'm personally, for me, I'm very much a kind of mover and shaker. I like getting out and doing things, not being in the same place all day long. Right. So that's why it kind of vibes well with me. Probably just a little bit of ADHD, but that's a different story for another day. So we were talking about how you guys got into photography and everything. What would you say was the biggest learning curve as you guys have progressed in your field, right? Obviously, a lot of people think, oh, you just take that photo and that's what it is, right? It's magically clean. Everything is nice and pure. The lighting's great and everything. What would you say was the hardest part about learning with the way you guys do?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I can. I honestly think, I want to say every day, to be honest. I always find some different learning curve, especially with social media. Like, scrolling through Instagram, I'm seeing so many, like, inspirational people doing new things or just learning new things. Or if, like, even on TikTok, I'm scrolling and I'm seeing, like, different settings people are using for their cameras to get, like, other outcomes. And so I'm going to stick with, like, every day is my learning curve.
I say for me, the biggest learning curve was taking the skills that I have and then learning how to market them. And that's kind of like my big thing that I'm pushing towards the things that I'm going to be teaching. Because I see a lot of people with a lot of varying skills, and I'm like, some people are over here, some people are over here, and I'm like, well, if I look at some of the people I know who shoot in the NFL, I know that skillfully it's tiers. So I'm like, if I know that I'm not skillfully as good as some of these people, I can still get in the room. Like, just figuring out how to do that was like the biggest thing for me.
No, I like it, man. And obviously you both are young, and getting in those rooms are like a huge thing, right? Like, that's my favorite thing is I love being the youngest person in the room because I feel like that means you're in the right spot. You're not sitting around a bunch of people who are maybe on the same level, or you feel like you're above that level and you want to see what's the next part that I'm missing, right? The next piece that can help me either be a better photographer, be a better, interviewer for me per se. It's fun, like that. We were talking about networking groups before we got started doing the podcast. That's where I've learned so much different stuff through sitting down with people who are twice my age, to be 100% honest with you, because a lot of people like to say, oh, the boomers or the people who are a little bit older, they don't know anything about technological age. You were talking about Graybeard, right? You're going to be going on Graybeard's pod. He's taught me a bunch, and I've actually used a lot of the things he showed me, whether it's the camera work, whether it's lighting and all that stuff, because he's huge in photography. Yeah. He loves it. His whole podcast used to be everything photography. I think it was I forgot the name of it. It had something to do with aperture.
Yeah, I watched a couple of those.
Yeah, like the original ones, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool, like I said, to get in those rooms, get involved with those people who can give you a little piece, right? Every time I do an interview, I take a little piece from that interview, whether it's learning your story, perspective changes, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So to dig into y'all's lives a little bit, so you were born in Jax, right?
Yep.
And you said you were born in Jacksonville but moved away, or how'd that go?
I was actually born in England, and then I moved to
Really?
South Carolina.
So military family or something?
No, my mom's in IT, so she just takes a lot of cool gigs.
I understand. My dad worked for Microsoft for a little while. So so I understand what you mean, going all over the place.
Yep.
That's cool. So you were born in London, or born in England, right? And then come to Jacksonville first, or how'd that all go?
South Carolina for a little bit, and then Jacksonville, yep.
Nice. And then moved to Michigan for a little bit, weren't feeling that?
Yeah, and then Orlando, and then back to Jacksonville.
Okay. So I know you said you picked up the camera when you were in middle school and everything. What did you have any other interests outside of that? Were you into sports? Were you involved in church or anything like that? What were some of your interests back in the day?
Yeah, I think growing up it was literally just photography and track. I trained 24/7 for track, and then I got a scholarship out in Michigan.
Good for you.
Yep.
What'd you run?
Hurdles and 400.
Shan did hurdles and everything. She was a 3-sport athlete. She played flag football, basketball, and then ran track as well.
Yeah, I think in my middle school, they had like the 3 and 4 sport award. I was like, I'm getting the 4 sport award. So I did like golf, I think. Yeah, it was golf. So I was like, yep, I got my 4 sport award.
Good for you. I like it. No, like sports for me have played such a pivotal role for me. Like, you know, with me, I was a young and angry kind of kid. I was just always like pissed off about something in the world. And sports taught me how to like work with a team, how to, you know, not just be worried about myself, right? You got to worry about other people, got to, you know, gel with each other. So I think sports are an amazing thing, especially for young people, right?
Sure.
You know, there's some people who are maybe coming from homes that aren't the best, you know, not the best home life. Maybe parents are involved, or, you know, there's issues inside the home. It gives people that chance to get out of that, right? And go put their energy towards something productive.
Yep.
So I think sports are amazing. Were you ever involved in sports, Kris?
Yeah. So I played basketball from 7th grade to like halfway through 10th grade.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny because the last guest you had, Reek.
Yeah, shout Reek.
He was the coach for the football team when I was there, right?
At Fletcher? Or is this Wolfson? Yeah,
Wolfson, right. So I'm playing basketball and like I'm on varsity as a freshman. So I'm boom, going, right? And then they get there and they're like, hey, do you want to play football? Mm-hmm. I'm like, nah, but I got a camera. So they kind of helped me ignite my my sports photography skills. And from there, they got hired over at Atlantic Coast. So I'm thinking like, all right, I'm finna just put the camera down. They was like taking me from Wilson to Atlantic Coast like every day, like after practice, sometimes during practice.
Yeah.
So I was like networking at 2 schools at once while still playing basketball. But then the following summer, I was just like, nah, let's put that jersey away.
There's nothing wrong with it, man. I was the same way. I played basketball for most of my life, to be 100% honest with you. The second half of my life, really.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to college for this. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make it to the NBA. I could barely jump over a piece of paper. You know what I mean? It's one of those struggles, you know. But no, like basketball was such a fun thing. I did like police athletic league. I did AAU ball, did all that stuff. Got to play against like Grayson Allen.
For real?
Yeah, back when he was at Providence. Yep.
Yeah.
Destroyed us. No, there would be some courts, you know, you go do AAU ball, so you're traveling, going to different parts of Florida and all that stuff. I walk in, there's 7-footers. I'm like,
we went to, we played at this tournament in Lake Point with, but we were in the same room as like Cooper Flagg's dad was there one time.
That's a beast right there.
Yeah, and then there was just 2 guards. One of them, his name is Jalen Reese, and the other one's Jameer Jones. They were like the number 1 guys, class of 2025, just dunking everything. I'm like, what the?
That's when it got to the point, man, right? I was like I was a decent player, fundamentals, everything is good, but just that pure athleticism, there's just some parts that you're just not given, right? And you just got to be real with yourself sooner or later. You're like, know what? I did my best. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But those, good thing you were like traveling for sports, because those pictures you just put out, those were fire. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What school was that? That was Bishop Kenny.
Yeah, that one was the Bishop Kenny and University Christian. So like right now, I'm contracted with the Jacksonville Jaguars with their Jax Foundation, and I shoot the high school game of the week.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
This week we're at Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity Christian.
So
that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Because there's some 5-stars on Reigns right now, isn't there? Or because I know,
or at least
haven't
major.
they been like that for years?
Reigns, Trinity Christian's been one of those schools too for years. They've always been a decent team from what I've seen, and now we got Mandarin, who has a 5-star wide receiver on there, who's a freaking monster. It's crazy because like when I went to school at Sandalwood, our team was a good team. You know, we had like Jadari Cooper. I'm trying to think of who else. Chris Jones. Yeah, Chris Jones. He trained in the same basketball court I did whenever I was with my personal trainer for that.
That's dope. I was just hooping with him like 2 weeks ago.
I haven't seen him in a minute, man. Like we were friendly, but not like, you know, close in any way. But I remember seeing him there, and then I saw him get drafted. I was like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
But no, he's been on a bunch of teams. I think he played for like the Lions, Minnesota, and I think is he in the Canadian Football League now, or
he's XFL?
XFL,
yeah, with the Battlehawks.
Good for him, man. Keeping that dream alive.
Yes, sir.
I mean, to even say that you made it to the NFL or any professional sport, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And he is one of the people too that I met real early that you know, we kind of, I won't say we grew together, but like, you know, one of those figures in the space that I shared a lot of time with
Yeah.
different projects and different things like that. So definitely shout out to him.
Nice.
And he's got a media platform of his own that's growing really fast.
I see it on Snapchat all the time, like a bunch of followers on Snapchat that I see him on.
Nah, he's definitely a really nice and dope creator.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think it's cool to see how like Jacksonville's really getting to that part. That's been a big talking point for us lately, is how Jacksonville's gotten really collaborative.
Yep.
And I think that's my favorite thing that's going on right now. Like, you know, we wouldn't be able to do the show for, you guys are what, episode 177?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah,
Oh, appreciate you.
seriously, That's big.
170 episodes that's dedication.
177. We're 177.
That's right. You know, once a week, every single week we put one out, every single Monday.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah, we've missed a couple weeks here and there. You know, one was us getting married, and then we ended up doing a podcast the day after our wedding, and
That's
like
fair enough.
yeah, you know, I feel like it's reasonable. And then other times it's like if we don't have a guest, or you know, maybe me and her are busy, I don't want to just rush something out. Right, that's not our goal. But we still do these things called Sunday Hangouts, where it's just me and her, and we come up with more like funnier topics, or we do our top 3 ratings to get the internet pissed off at us. It's you know, it's content. It's fun. It's fun to get people mad.
Raise bait type stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, gotta play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
So you brought up working with the Jaguars. How'd you get that, man? The Jaguars are one of the hardest people to get any kind of conversation started with. So how'd that go?
Really, it was I was shooting a 7-on-7 like camp for one of my clients, Carl Neesmith.
Okay.
He used to play in the NFL, but he's from here.
Oh,
so,
nice.
And I met him at a park. I just was like, hey, you're training some kids. You want to take my number down? But we were out at a 7-on-7 camp. And then one of the representatives, I guess, follows him and sees the content that he shares. And then from there, he kind of followed me and was like, hey, we need somebody to fill in for this. This is something that we potentially may be looking forward to long term. If this goes well, we'll kind of continue the conversation. So it was a Bulls versus BK game of the week.
Okay.
I think that was 2023. And it was ironically the first video, like sports video I did with this. That was like outside of like I did like a pageant shoot.
Okay.
And then it was something, but that game with this camera was the first one.
Yeah.
And it went great. Like it was one of my funnest shoots of all time.
That's sick, dude. That's freaking sweet. And do you do like sports photography as well? Or?
I don't. I stopped doing photography as much and started doing the managing part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by managing part?
So I manage Jack's Photographers Hub, and then within Jack's Photographers Hub, we do like daycare photo shoots. So we come out to the daycares that can't really afford like the Life Touch packages or stuff like that, and we'll do their photo shoot so the kids can have a nice portrait.
That's really cool of you. Yeah. That's really cool. I'd say it's needed, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like with photography, it doesn't mean just one thing, right? You could literally go take a picture of anything, you know? And I'm sure working with the kiddos, I'm sure that's fun. You know, picture day, everybody's getting all excited, right?
It's so cute to see their like smiles and outfits that their parents put on them. It's really cute.
And how long have you been doing the managing side?
I think going on to like, I want to say, well, I've been managing it from like even the photography. I've had my own timing perfection since like freshman year of high school. So I've probably been doing that since freshman year. And then the other managing part, like with the daycares, we've been doing it for about 3 years now.
Good for you. That's huge. That's the thing, man. Just it's all needed. You know, even for me, right? Like a LinkedIn page, you got to have that professional headshot for really anybody to take you seriously. And you know, Shannon's my little photographer in the background. I'm sure you'll see her going around taking photos and stuff.
Oh, I see her working the camera.
Oh, you know, she knows what she's doing. She's on point. But no, like still with me, I'm still learning every single day, right? Like seeing you with the big old lens right there, man. Yeah. Like I'm still learning every single day. I got this first camera here. It's a Sony ZV-10 or EZ-10. I forget which one.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You know, just a nice, easy setup camera to get started with. We are going to get a little bit bigger. Once we get into our next spot, we're looking at buying houses here soon and want to actually build a studio and do a full studio, multi-camera. Have, you know, whether it's her or one of a friend of mine to be behind the scenes, be able to flip through and everything, because all that's in post-production for me currently. So, you know, it's, obviously you guys know it takes time.
Honestly, though, with the equipment wise, that was something that kind of made me strong within growing my skill set early, because I started with the T3.
Okay.
But I put that T3 to work. Like I had so many like high profile clientele shooting with that camera, and then like it helped me learn the real fundamentals of it. So like not only did it help me know what to buy, like it saved me money, but it also like it let me know that okay, I don't need to spend $10,000 to have like, you know.
That's a huge thing. Like whenever I was starting the pod, I was the same way. I was like you're starting something, you think you're going to be like really like loving it, right? And some people, they do, and they continue doing it for 10 years, right? And then there's other people who do it for 6 months and they're like, I'm not really into this. But you just spent so much money on something. Yeah. It's just like, dang, man, I'm kind of stuck with this. Like with us, we started off with 2 microphones and the Rodecaster. And the reason I got the Rodecaster for is obviously it like basically mixes all the channels for you, add sound effects. It does a lot for me for someone who's not, classically trained in the audio editing, and then makes post-production a lot easier for me. But in total, I think to start all this, it was $1,000. Yeah. And then we just built on, right? Like the set, everything you guys see, this is all Amazon chairs and IKEA stuff, and the panels are from Amazon. It's just making your space what you can, right? And working with what you got, I'm not rich in any way, shape, or form. I still go to work every single day, and just like y'all do.
And that honestly, like to me, like I can't really speak on everyone else, but like to me, that's more impressive because it shows, okay, like, all right, this person is actually dedicated to not only creating high quality content, but also like their brand, because you understand, like, you have to be presentable. Oh, yeah. But like, okay, I don't have to spend, again, $10,000 to do, like, I can boom, 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 and then get to, a certain point.
Well, technology is one of those things, is like most stuff has a decent camera on it, right? Like iPhones and stuff, depending on what you're doing, is really what kind of equipment you need. Obviously, you both know that way better than I do. Like when we first started doing this, I would do all my clips. It was literally my iPhone set up right over my shoulder, and I would just clip out stuff so I can make like social media clips and everything.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that's the biggest part, like, to take away from our workshop is the content creator workshop, is that you can have this like really good content with literally just your phone, whether it's an Apple phone, whether it's Samsung, Google, whatever it is. Like, you can literally have high quality, as long as like your creativity is there and you kind of know where you want it to head. You can always have great things.
No, I agree. And I think that's what makes, content creation so fun, right? Because you have your own style, I have my own style. You can kind of see, like, there's stuff, like, I'll see stuff on a page, and before even someone says who it is, I know whose art it is or whose video it is because of their style. Yep. And I think that's cool. It shows the difference in all of us and like our creative styles, which I think is cool. Yep. I don't want to be exactly the same as someone else. I want to do my own thing, right? I may add certain parts to it though. I'm like, oh, I really like the way he did that there, or that transition was really clean. How can I do that kind of thing? But no, it's really cool. And obviously with y'all growing up and doing this for so long, was there like a certain photographer that you guys have ever been into, or is it more just picking it up and just making your own style, or anybody that you kind of played off of?
I'd say for me early, I definitely was very inspired by Aaron Berkshire.
Oh yeah.
And it was Aaron Berkshire, Cam Hicks, who's now with NASCAR.
He was the one with the Jags for a little bit, right? Yeah, okay.
And then there was also Logan Bowles. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Okay. He's from here. She's like one of the heads of the NFL Focus program.
Oh, okay.
But he's like one of the NFL's best photographers. So like those three, and then just like social media stuff. Like, just you see something and you're like, oh wow, like I want to do that.
Yeah. 100%. And we've also grown up in the age now where, everything has come up at the same time as we have. This is going to make me sound old. I remember when Instagram came out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I remember when Snapchat first became a thing, all that stuff, or really bring it back to the old days. Do y'all ever hear of Kik?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So you remember the Kik days? Like, ooh.
Remember that?
Nah, I just had cousins like when I was younger that were doing that.
Oh yeah, man. I just dated myself with Kik. But no, it really is an amazing thing. And to get into the workshop, right? So feel free to let us know. Obviously, you guys said it's coming on the 12th, right?
Yep.
Nice. So what's going to be involved in the workshop? How can people get involved, or whether it's tickets, or any of that kind of stuff? Let everybody know.
Well, tickets can be purchased through, I think, Eventbrite now, Meetup, and through the Jax Photographers Hub website, which will be on the Instagram of Jax Photographers Hub. It's going to be at the Phoenix District.
Oh, nice.
They are letting us use their space for I think it's the Emerald Station, right?
Yep.
Emerald Station, that's the name of the specific building. But it's going to be a hands-on workshop where you'll be able to get to network with a lot of different photographers at different levels, like the tiers you were talking about. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
A lot to take away. And
it's like, for me, it's going to be my first, like, host of a workshop type thing. So, it's going to be a learning experience for me, but also I feel like it's going to put into perspective my place in the industry right now, because a lot of people early on see me in sports, and a lot of people now are seeing me doing like different types of things, whether that's modeling, interviews, documentaries, projects. So I feel like this will kind of let people know, like, oh, like, okay, he's not just this or that.
Yeah.
You know,
help diversify yourself, you know, show in different ways. And like, I checked out your content, right? I saw you did the interview. Was it like in Chevrolet or like one of the car dealerships?
Chevrolet.
I thought that was a cool style. And then I've seen you obviously talk to, like, we were talking about Rich Homie Quan. I saw you taking pictures of the Kodak Black. Who else? Lil Duval, everything for Duval Day.
The Keisha.
That's cool too. Yeah,
Keisha, that's actually like the most viral piece of content I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 1.5 million on YouTube.
Dang.
Like 600K on TikTok, 400K on Instagram.
Putting up numbers, man.
It's a little bit.
I mean, shit. If I had $1 million on mine, I'd be pretty hyped myself. That's just me. But no, that's how do you get involved with those people, right? Because this isn't just someone you just shoot a DM to most times. You know, like there's things you got to go back and forth with.
Yeah. Really, it's like a process, really. So you decide what event that you want to shoot, and then you decide how you're going to get credentials for it. So let's just say, for example, the Keisha Cole concert. That one I shot on behalf of 904 Happy Hour.
Oh, okay.
So I know a couple people who work at 904 Happy Hour.
Another hard company to get with. I've talked to them, tried to talk to them a bunch. They are hard to get with. Yeah.
But yeah, I reached out to them, and then they were like, "Yeah, we have a opening for you. We already like your work and are pretty familiar with what you do." So they gave me a credential for that night, and then the other ones, they're kind of just like, either I'm contracted to work there and I already have a credential, or I know somebody at that venue or know somebody who's hosting, and I just reach out. So it's really just like word to mouth, generating leads and networking like that.
Networking's huge. We were talking about the networking groups before, like we started the pod and everything. To be honest with you, that's how anybody I've gotten on is through just talking to that. Like we sat down with the CEO of JA as like our 7th episode.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Now that's a flag.
Yeah, like it was the craziest thing. They really didn't like need me there or anything like that, but they were willing to give us a chance. Or the CEO of Visit Jacksonville, very cool guy. You know, it just takes walking up and shaking hands with people.
Yeah,
you know?
It literally just takes you walking up. I mean, I've noticed that about you. Like, he literally just walks up to somebody in a space. Like,
I'm the same
serious.
way.
Like, you literally just walk up to somebody.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, like, if you think they're here and you're there, like, you literally just have to walk up to them.
It's just a human being.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And I think a lot of people get scared of that, and that's when they build that wall. They're like, oh, I'm not good enough to do this or that. And it's just, you got to take the risk and chances.
I totally agree.
That's one of the things that, like, I've gotten really comfortable with working with so many high profile clients. Like, I could be in a room with several people who have like millions of followers and still feel very comfortable walking up to them. Hey, my name is Kris and I do these things. I'm looking to service you in this way. How can I be an asset to your platform type thing?
No, man, it really just takes that. I'm the same way. Like, I'm very extroverted. You know, me and Shan will go to networking events. We'll be talking to someone, and I just dart off, and I'm just going around. It's just how I am. And one thing that does, funny enough, help me is how tall I am. Yeah. The first thing people, wow, you're tall. I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, helps make it easier. But no, just going out there and shaking hands with people, being a part of the community is huge, right? Obviously, seeing y'all's social posts and seeing everything that you're involved in as well. It's like we've rubbed shoulders with the same people, right? Like, we were talking about like Safe House. We were talking about like, was it Phoenix Jacks? All of them. We've sat down with a bunch of artists who are involved in them now. I say, who else is going there? Someone just had Metamorphic. Vic. Shout out to Vic, by the way. I say he just had his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, bud! And I saw he just did a rooftop event the other day or yesterday as well. Everybody was in suits. Everybody was doing their thing. DJ Larry Love, all of them in there, and it's cool to see the art scene really start to grow here in Jacksonville, because I think they're really pushing for that to happen now. Like, they freaked out yesterday. They're saying they're putting a Publix in downtown. You know, so like
Publix?
Yes. So, well, the thing about downtown Jacksonville, obviously, it's had a little bit of a name behind it, right? Some people are worried about being down there and all that kind of stuff. And now they're really starting to build there now. You know, the new stadium's coming in. We have that, is it the Ritz-Carlton, or the new hotel is going to be coming here to Jax. Publix, a bunch of other big companies are coming down as well. So I think there's going to be a lot more murals going on down there to really make it pretty. Obviously, they have that new skate park down there as well. That's huge. So it's really trying to make Jacksonville a beautiful place, which it really is already. But it's cool to see them put more infrastructure out there for people.
Definitely.
And I think Jacksonville is definitely reaching out more to the community. Like, even, I think Jax Parks, that's who we partner with the photo walk. So we go out to their parks and we'll do our little photo walks for about an hour and a half.
We got to speak about that, like how we met.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Go ahead.
So Kris came out to one of the photo walks. It was at
Memorial Park.
Yep. So the one with like the big statue and the St. John's River. He came out with a couple of other photographers, and we really met through there. And he was, again, being his extroverted self. He was like helping the other photographers, shoot stuff, because we have a lot of different experiences. Like some people are just shooting with their cameras because they just want something to do. So Kris was like, I was like, Kris, go partner with her. She needs help.
Yeah.
So he was over there partnering with people and helping them out how to, do a little trick, exposure, showing them the exposure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really
that
cool.
was pretty dope, though, because that was like one of my first times, like, just being a part of something like that.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm like, all right, I'm either hired or I'm doing something by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of put myself in a new space, and it was pretty fun. And then I actually won with, like, they had a challenge.
Yeah, so we have 2 challenges. We'll think of something creative like take pictures of texture. So we'll keep it very like broad like that, and then see where everyone's minds go. And then at the end of the week of the photo walk, they'll submit their challenge photos. And Kris won one of the challenges.
Oh, nice.
It was texture.
Yeah,
it was the texture.
Well, it's like that keen eye, right? You
Yeah.
know, like anytime I see people who are really, whether it's content creation or photography, it's like you guys just have that angle. You just know like what's the right spot. And you brought up Reek, right? Like everything he posts, he has that style too. And I'm like, damn, that's just a really good shot that you have there.
Yep.
And it helps me, right? Like I'm like, okay, I know where I need to kind of maneuver a little bit more, or like the textures, right? What'd you take a picture of? Do you remember?
It was a tree. But the tree had a heart carved in it, and I took my flash and I like made it kind of harsh. So it was like it was middle of the day, but it looked dark on the outside.
Gotcha.
So it's just like all you could really see is like the bark and then the heart in the middle.
That's really sick, dude.
No, the photo walks are so fun because not many people just go outside and take pictures. So like to see people go outside, take pictures, and then if they win the challenges, to see their like photo on a 16 by 20 canvas, it just like blows people's mind, because you always see it on the phone or you always see it on the camera, but you never see it printed out.
That's the thing, like blowing up, like that's something actually me and her have talked about more, is wanting to get more photos and all that kind of stuff just on the walls, right?
I was about to say, I see a lot of empty space over here.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You say this is Shannon's painting. We did a what was it, painting with a twist. So
I haven't yet.
It's actually really fun, to be honest with you, because I'm not artistically talented in any way, shape, or form when it comes to painting.
When you're drunk, you can do anything.
Oh, 100%. So I make jokes about hers. I said hers looks like it licks windows of the snowman, and mine's over there on the far right side over there. Yeah. And it was just like a playoff Starry Night. But I think that stuff's so cool because it's something that I'm not taking it so seriously. Like if I mess up, I'm like, it's over. It just helps you get out of your brain a little bit. Just go, do something you're not normally like doing. So I think that kind of stuff's fun. And the photography side, like I've talked to people a bunch where taking that moment, right, to take a step back. We're so busy all the time, right? Our minds are always thinking about something. What's next? I'm sure obviously with the businesses, same with me, like with the podcast, and taking that step back to take like a mental snapshot of everything, like whether you're with your friends, your family, or you're in like a big event in your life, and not just being so focused on it that it just slips by and you don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool with what you guys do. You're literally capturing a moment. That moment's gone after that, right?
And I think a lot of people come out with their best stuff when they're just in that relaxed state and they're not stressed about something and they're literally just calming. I think that's when I did my best. I did like this milk bath shoot before, and it was just like gorgeous. I did like went to the store, bought like powdered milk, threw it in the bath, and I had a model, and she just like, it was just really cool. I don't know, it was one of my best pieces I had ever shot.
I would say though, like for me, that experience at that photo walk event, it was like super relaxing, because like I never really took photos with that mind space, and then I showed myself, I was like, wait, I know a lot more than I thought I did, because I was doing things and I was just looking at it like,
and teaching people
like, subliminally at the same time. So I'm like, wait, and then I was trying other stuff, because I'm like, I see a tree and I'm like, wait, if I line this tree up on this third, and it was just super cool. It's something I would definitely recommend. Try if y'all haven't tried it already, and it's free. Like pop out like
last Saturdays of each month until October.
Last Saturday of each month. Okay, I say let us know anytime you guys got events going on. Shoot it up to our page. We're always down to put stuff up on the stories and everything. We want to promote you guys as much as we possibly can.
For sure.
Yeah. So with what's coming up next, right? So obviously football season just started. So I'm sure you're about to be getting into busy season, right? Yeah. So what do you guys, obviously you got the workshop coming up. What's next for you guys? What's coming down the line, or anything new coming up?
For me, it is my merchandise.
Okay.
It's about to go on sale. So with the workshop, those who are sponsoring tickets will get a free hat with their workshop experience. And then after that, I'll start promoting my Endless Visions hat line, and then there will follow other pieces of merchandise that we cannot get into at this time.
Understand? No problem.
But after that, it'll just be continuing to grow my 2X Originals brand, which is myself as a multimedia journalist. That's like more on-camera interviews, getting to know me, and then expanding and just gaining other sponsorships, and then seeing how I can grow as a figure in the city.
Yeah, man. I totally understand that. What about you?
So we actually have another showcase coming up at the end of the year. It's going to feature a couple of our winners from the photo walk. We did one earlier this year that was open to everyone, but this one's only going to be for the people who have been to the photo walk. Not necessarily one, but just took a photo out in Jack's Parks. We're partnering with Women Writing for a Change for that. So that's another older group of ladies who writes poetry, and they're going to write a poetry to go with everyone's pieces.
That's really cool.
To share that. Yeah.
I like that. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that you guys are doing that. Like I was talking to him about the Safe House, right? Have you guys have been there, right? Or yeah.
I haven't yet.
You're fine. Well, unfortunately, it's not around anymore. But so that's Joe from REO Podcast. Say what's his freaking title on there? I forget. But like I went to there and they did an art show, right? And that's where John Hawkins had his first night of like art critiques, and it was basically a night of everybody kind of sipping wine, and you get to see all these big artists like Jarrett Walker coming in, a couple.
My dog, I got his sticker. Right.
Oh, is that him?
That's my dog.
He's coming on soon. Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Oh yeah.
I love his work. Like I like kind of know him. Like we'll pass by, and I know like sometimes I'll swipe up on his stories, but like I love his work. Every time I'm walking through Jacksonville, I'm like, I know who did that one.
That's right.
Yeah, there's like a couple of artists like that. I think Tatiana, the one with the blue people. I call her Blue People.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I know that one.
Oh, if you see her work, you'll know her.
I'll know.
I promise you. Yeah.
There's another guy here in town. His name's Jason Tetlak, and he's a muralist. He has the world record for the largest 3D mural here in Jacksonville.
That's insane.
It's the one of the Beastie Boys, and you put the glasses on, they move and everything.
What?
I've not seen
I haven't either.
Yeah, he has a bunch of murals all around town that's like kind of his like style doing his thing. And I remember he sat down, he reached out to me and wanted to sit down, and he told me that. I was like, really? And he showed me the plaque and everything. I'm like,
that's insane. You see that? There's so many artists, but I love it when you can recognize their work before you even know them.
Well, that's the thing is like, I'll sit down with someone, maybe I wasn't fully aware of them at the time, right? And then I start driving around town, I'm like, I know that person.
I know. I don't know their name. I may not know them, but I know that person.
Oh, no, it makes it cool because it just gives me a little bit more of a background on the history of Jacksonville, right? I've lived here my whole life, never moved out of Jacksonville, went to everything from elementary school to college here. Wow. And to get to know a little bit more of our history around town, I think it's really cool. And like Old Soul, they were telling me a little bit more of like, like Black history on everything, on like when it comes to Jacksonville and learning more about that stuff. It's cool to be educated on the different things that's really happened here. Jacksonville's a special place that some people like to hate on, but I love our town, and I think we're growing, man. Jacksonville's the next city. Yeah. Obviously I don't think the Jaguars and the city of Jacksonville would put $1 billion into something that they didn't think we were going to be doing something here in the next couple of years.
That is true.
Yeah. And another thing that I wanted to bring up with you, we were talking before the pod, you're a mom.
Yeah, I am.
So what was that experience like?
It's still hectic.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful, to be honest, because I'm like, he's literally my mini me. Yeah. And like literally boy version. Like everywhere I go, he's just right there behind me, and like everything that like annoys me, like that he does, I'm like, oh, you get that from me. So it's
You're looking at yourself in the mirror, basically. You're like, oh, I used to do that. That's right.
I wake up at like 7:00 in the morning. He's like, Mom, get up, like cook food for me. And I'm like, oh, yep, I did that to my mom. So it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like, were you wanting a boy? Obviously you have a boy, but were you like, didn't really care which one?
I wanted a boy.
You did want a boy.
I was like, I cannot handle like a carbon copy of me. Not with the attitude and all of that. Yeah.
I'm the same way, kind of. I don't know what we'll have, and I keep telling Shannon, I'm like, it's gonna be very interesting because I'm pretty calm and laid back, but I also knew how I was when I was a teenager growing up. I was like, I was like, I don't know if we could deal with that. But I've always heard it's like, boys are a little more rambunctious when they're younger, right? And they get older, they calm down. I've heard where girls are nice and sweet, and they're young and nice and sweet, and then they get that teenage age. It's like, oh no, that's when things start going down.
No, that's so true, because I have a niece, and she's, I want to say, like, she just turned 5. She was like the sweetest thing ever, all calm, collective. Like, she'll sit, like, she has like a little attitude, a sassiness, but that's probably it. And like now she's 5, she's getting a little bit like up there, a little bit everywhere, but it's crazy compared to how my son is.
I understand.
Yeah.
Shannon's a little sassy, so I don't know. She's behind the camera like, what? No, like, but that's the thing I'm super excited for. Like, me and Shannon, you know, we've been married for going on 2 years, been together for going on 10, and we met whenever I was 18. She was a sophomore in college. So yeah, literally we met at a restaurant that I was working at. I used to be a manager for Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Ended up taking over her store, became friends, and then started dating. 1 month into dating, we've been together ever since.
Oh wow, that's cute.
Yeah, it was an interesting life. We never thought about podcasting or anything back then. You know, just we're doing our things and trying to figure out what this world had for us. So
props to you guys, because this is pretty hard to do, especially in your own living room.
Oh yeah. It's funny. So people come in, they're like, oh, so this is where the studio's at. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my dining room.
No, this is so nice though, because I think what stops a lot of people is actually doing it, even if it comes from your own house. Like, my first photo studio was in my house, in like a spare bedroom, and not many people just have the courage to just be like, okay, let me just set it up in my house and start inviting people over to my house. It's a big step.
Well, I used to bring the podcast everywhere. Like, I would go travel, like the JEA one. I went and sat literally in JEA, like the main like office space that they had there. Manifest Distillery, I went and sat in the distillery and all that kind of stuff, and it's great. I love going on site, but all this stuff and moving everything around, and maybe the lighting's not right and all this stuff. Everything here is controlled, so it makes my life a little bit easier on the back end of things. Yeah. So I just kind of started just doing it here. Some people don't like that. They're like, you want to come to me? And if it's the right person, I'll get out and go do that kind of thing. But mostly now I'm like, you either come to me or we'll figure it out another day kind of thing. Yeah. But no, I thoroughly enjoy it. And I think what I've always told people is, like, you have an idea, just start. It's not going to be perfect. The first time you do it is not going to be perfect. I listened to old episodes that I did, like, say 2 or 3 years ago compared to where we are now. Completely different. I used to say all the time in the mic, or, you know, like, I remember I was chewing gum on one episode, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I look back on it now, I'm like, that is the huge no-no. I'm like, hilarious. You know, it's just learning, right? Yep. You know, like, I told you guys about just getting the Rodecaster and then the 2 microphones. Very primitive. Figured it out over time, and then we just kind of grew, and we wanted to do bigger things. That's when we grew the set and invested in a camera, just like you guys have. Obviously, you guys buy different pieces of equipment, and I know that stuff's not cheap. I know for a fact that stuff is not cheap.
Lens, I'm like, okay, let me handle with care.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've looked stuff up because, you know, we want to get a couple more cameras, and I've looked at different lenses and everything. It's crazy what some of these things. What's the one brand, like Red, I think is what it is.
But they did see I like what Red did though. They took their $9,000 camera and made it $3,500.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me spend $3,500.
So it's like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
FX3, or you can go get this Red Komodo, and it's like you're shooting 9K, and like,
it's just
for
buttery.
The same price. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you can use the same lenses if you get it's like a converter that goes on it.
I've seen those.
Like,
you're better than me. I was like,
so what was crazy is that I was like, the way I kind of started getting serious about photography is when I started learning about like the visual effects side of things and more of the movie industry. I remember when like the video cameras, they were able to do 4K. It used to be like huge cameras that you could like, it was just so heavy. And then when they came out with like the 4K camera where it's handheld and it's like light, you can like pick it up with one hand. I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
It is. It's like we're seeing the progression of things.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, like the glasses you have, are those the ones where you can record?
They are the Ray-Bans.
Yeah, like that's freaking nuts. That's even possible. You know, put a lens on there and it looks good. I watch TikToks all the time of people who are doing stuff with the Ray-Bans on. Yeah. I want to start getting those for like man on the street, where I'm doing like man on the street interviews. I think that would be such a sick perspective. I will be looking down though, so I might have to put them on Shannon. But we'll see.
Shannon.
She likes the height. Don't let people lie. But no, like it's cool to see the progression of the cameras, right? You know, like to go back and think about you remember the movies that are the ones where you have to go under the hood and the thing would like catch on.
Yeah.
That's an old movie style side of thing. This is not in my time in any way. This is more like, cowboys and Indian type times.
But I had them in the movies. I remember seeing them in the movies.
No, it really is cool. And just think about 10 years from now, right? That lens will be a third of the size, still have the same amount of power.
Yep.
But we brought up the red cameras. 99.9% of the world does not need that camera, for photographers, right? Now, if you know what you're doing and you're really into the specs or your specific things or you're shooting a movie, totally understand. Or obviously with what you do, you need that stuff compared to what I got going on in here. I don't have a lot of things moving around. Obviously, in sports, you got the guys catching the ball or they're running past you and you get that clear photo of everything. Yeah. Did you ever have a time where, say, you were hired on and the shoot went bad? Did you ever have one of those situations or you're like, ooh, we didn't?
Just telling me about one of those stories.
There was a time, somewhat kind of recently, honestly, but I wouldn't say the shoot went bad because the work was delivered and the work was still high quality. It was just some things that were learned and some things that I had my eyes opened up to. It was my first travel to across the United States. We don't gotta get specific.
You're fine. I understand. Yeah.
But we traveled across the United States, went to a couple different states. It was a new experience for me, but it was just some things that were learned. I'd say that's the biggest one for me. But I'd say my first studio shoot I did with his name is John Gabbana. He used to go by like Boom Gang.
Oh yeah, I know Boom Gang. Yeah,
he was my first ever studio shoot.
Really?
And I was like, I was so nervous, but I mean, we made it work. And then he was just like the way he set up his stuff. He was like kind of hard to get in contact with. But I mean, that's not a knock though. Like as big as he is, that's kind of how it's supposed to be. So that one was kind of daunting to me because I was just like, oh my gosh.
Was this before or after he's found God and done he's doing better things?
The transition. So he was at this point making gospel music and stuff like that. So he wasn't on that type of time.
That was a big jump. Yeah,
that was a wild time. I remember seeing the original videos and we're all young. We're all young one time and he's doing better things. So no hate on it kind of thing. But I remember seeing his videos in the Apple Store. He's like, Boom Gang. He just dipped.
Yeah, that
I was like, holy shit.
Big piece of my childhood. And then he's from here.
I didn't know that for the longest time either.
Yeah.
There's a clothing brand that used to be in Jax called Upland Clothing Co. with Jesse Farrell. And he had him as one of the models. And I messaged him. I've had him on the podcast a couple times. I was like, how did you get Boot Gang to be wearing your things? And he's like, oh, well, he's from Jax. I was like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
You could ask me for $1 million. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
But we have all kinds of crazy people. Not crazy people, excuse me. We have a lot of interesting people that have come out of Jacksonville, right? We were talking about Lil Duval. Yeah. That's crazy. A lot of athletes that have came out of here. Obviously, Tim Tebow, Patrick Young, really just a mix of all kinds of different things here. And it's cool to see when someone gets a lot of media attention and they're from Jacksonville, whether it's positive or negative. I'm like, that's right. I'm like, I was like 904 over here. That's right.
Yeah. One more thing though, just kind of touch back on John. I've worked with him and been shared the room with him a lot of times. He's a great guy. Super calm, super controlled. He's never really done anything crazy. I know his image is one way, but with me, it's been cool closer.
And that's the thing, man. You can see stuff on social media so many times. You don't really know the person until you meet them. I see stuff all the time. Sitting down for interviews, right? People portray themselves, and then they sit down with me. I'm like, you're not the same. I was like, that's interesting. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see, and that's why I like doing an hour-long conversation, right? Because anybody can be anything for 30 seconds or a minute and a half clip or anything like that. I want to hear, if you can keep it going, if it really is an act or whatever it is. But 99% of the people we've sat down with are very genuine. I very rarely have a bad interview where I leave and I'm like, oh, that was tough. The only time, to be honest with you though, I'm not going to hate on models. Models are tough to interview sometimes.
I can see that.
Then they don't want to share anything.
I'm looking at you.
I've had a couple models where I try to post a clip, collaborate a little bit, or collaborate with the post of announcing. They're too good for the freaking. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, I gave you my time. Give me a little something here,
Yeah.
But not all of them, just a couple in the past.
Yeah.
So. All right, so let me see here. Oh, this was the other question I wanted to ask. What was it like to meet Kodak Black? I wanted to ask because I when I tell you my childhood, whenever I was in high school, like Lil Uzi Vert came out, Kodak Black came out.
You were in high school during the best year.
The XXL, with the XXL cipher and everything.
Like that was the best year.
We need
ever.
the full details though. Like, did you have in your golds? Like, the full
okay. So
you got a full set of golds.
Yeah, I got a little 6.
I like it.
But so I work with former Jags player Josh Evans, right? Mm-hmm. He has a podcast called the Keep It a Buck Pod.
Okay.
And he teams up with Jarvis Williams, and they were in collaboration with Young Cash, who's also from here, who works with T-Pain.
Yep.
So they had, for his birthday, a Cash Bash at the Daily's place. So Plies was there, Phil Mob was there, a lot of Jacksonville artists were there. Kodak was the headliner artist. So that's how I got credentialed to shoot that in the first place.
Okay.
So I was there shooting a YouTube video for them, but within our agreement, it was like, hey, if you want to freelance in between, you can do that. So I was like, all right, cool. I made sure I was vlogging them, still had them mic'd up and everything. Yeah. But in between time, I was shooting like for the artist. So the concert ends, and throughout shooting so many concerts, I recognized, like, okay, once that artist gets off stage, he's going to his dressing room.
Yeah.
Like, that's the spot to be at if you want to get pictures and content. So I just see him take off, get to the dressing room. I'm sitting there with like Channel 4 News. And they're like, yeah, no, you're good with us. Like it was my girl Ari, and I had just met her, but her name is Alexa. She's based in Gainesville, but she works with the station here. So we're just all outside his dressing room for like 50 minutes. They're like, oh, no, he went to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what he does in the bathroom, I have no idea.
That's true.
He comes out with a chicken wing, and it's just like...
Oh, that's hilarious.
He was visibly on something. But shout out to Kodak, though, because he was like, oh, nah, like, I appreciate all of y'all. He was super cool.
That's cool, man.
His security was kind of like trying to get us out of there. But
I understand.
That's how it be a lot of the times. But, yeah, I mean, I had my goals.
I like it.
You know, I was going to do an interview with him, but we didn't have time to.
You're good, man. Nah, I've always liked the slugged out look. I think that looks clean.
Yeah.
But no, like Kodak for me, man, like no flocking, too many years. You know, he had Candy Paint, all kinds of different songs, man. Like he had so much stuff. Like anytime he dropped something. Did you guys ever use Spinrilla? You ever heard of that?
I know what it is. I never used it.
Yeah, so like whenever you didn't want to pay for Apple Music and all that stuff, and like someone dropped a mixtape, Spinrilla, you go get it for free. That's where I would get Lil Uzi Vert too, man. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That was a time that was so. Post Malone came out that same time too, like with
all
White.
Of his good songs.
Yeah, like White Iverson. I remember listening to White Iverson, and then they played "Congratulations" as my graduation song. It was so hype, so hype. God,
imagine that would have been nice. Yeah.
It was a good time. That was a wild time of music. I'm not gonna lie. I go back to listen to some of the songs. I'm like, I'm like different times, or even like Lil Yachty, like Broccoli, whenever that song first came out.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time, but I feel like we still got some good stuff. Post Malone's music's definitely changed a little bit on that side of things. It's not the same as whenever he had his golds in, he had his hair all tied back, but Kodak's still putting stuff out right now. He's out of his legal trouble, if I remember correctly, because he was kind of going back and forth on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, you know, the future of everything, right? What's the main goal, right? Is there a specific person you want to work with? If there's anybody in the world you could, is there a specific person that you would want to be able to go either shoot videos for, photography for, any of that kind of stuff?
I say for myself, when it comes to specific individuals, I would say no, because at this point, like, I've kind of worked with some of the world's biggest.
I'll say it seems like you have.
But just in terms of goals, I would like to. I said this once in a podcast before, but just continuing to elevate my marketability. So whether I'm walking into a room full of athletes or models, music execs, any different type of room, I can present myself as a figure and an asset. And it's kind of full circle now, because when I first said it, I was just kind of a behind the camera content specialist. Mm-hmm. But now I am also a model, a multimedia journalist, photographer, videographer.
Yeah.
So I kind of come with the whole package. So I would like to see myself in the next 5-10 years, actually, okay, boom, I've landed sponsorships and deals with these major brands and be moving in that direction.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
For Jack's Photographers Hub, it started because of one big plan. I can't really discuss that one big plan.
That's fine. I understand.
But everything that we do, from like the partnerships, people we work with, the events that we do, it's definitely moving us closer. So hopefully hopefully this year, at the end of this year, we can announce the big plan. But
I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it. No, it's cool to see y'all continue to grow. And by the way, like I said, 18 years old, very impressive, by the way. But including you as well. Like, being a mom, doing all this other stuff, you both are very, very impressive. So, like I said, I wish you guys nothing but the best. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to come sit down with me today. And I say,
and one thing about her platform, it's like, again, one of the first times I'm kind of collaborating with another platform to do something like this. So the opportunity has been great.
You've been awesome to work with, seriously.
Yeah. Like, and I just want to put my best foot forward for y'all, because I'm like, if I don't, then it's like, all right, I'm kind of.
Yeah, and the people who are attending the workshop, they'll be seeing a lot of his great clips that he has made recently.
So I've been collabing with them.
Yeah.
Like every reel I post. So I go shoot a jumbo shrimp game with Josh Evans and his partner, and it's during college football kickoff weekend. So I have like this. I have that camera right there.
Yeah.
And like I have a monitor and it's like a mic right here, but I got a phone mount. So I got my phone watching the game, and I'm like recording at the same time. So I was like, I'm a Florida State fan, so I was watching the Florida State game. But like by the time I recorded the reel,
go Gators.
Yeah, we'll see y'all in December. But but by the time I recorded the reel, it was like the game was already over. So I'm like, all right, let me just record something. I'm thinking like, all right, it might get like 10,000 or something. I wake up, this joint is like 21,000, and it's growing like about a minute
Every time you update it, yeah.
Right, and this is the one reel I don't collaborate with them. And I'm like, what?
Oh,
Yeah, but we got some more content coming up, so we definitely got some more opportunities to hit the algorithm.
Oh yeah,
and potentially go viral again.
It just takes time, man. Like the thing that annoys me the most is like I work so hard on a clip. It does its thing, and then the one that I think is a throwaway, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna post it. It just blows up. I'm like.
Yeah.
Like I had one go off for 10, 15K the other day, and it was just me talking about. I forgot what we were talking about. What was it? We were talking about like inventions, like top 3 inventions kind of thing. It was one of our episodes, and that went off for 10K. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, I've had people on here who are like doing so much different stuff. I'm like, this is the one that goes off, but it's the internet, man. The algorithm does its thing.
You know what's funny though? You mentioned that your Keisha Cole video was the most viral, and I'm like, I've never seen that. Like, I know you maybe from like your Kodak Black photos. I've never really seen the Keisha Cole.
For real?
Yeah,
I watched it right before
you showed me.
Right before you came here, I was watching that. Yeah.
See, that's like the crazy part. Like sometimes, like the videos you don't even think that does do well. I guess those are the ones that people don't really take too much.
Like that video, I threw that up on that was just a phone clip. I threw it up at like 2:00 in the morning, and like for like a week, it was like 3K.
Yep.
Like a week later, I'm just watching it. I'm like, what the?
It's weird how that works.
Lovely.
It is lovely. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I see like something I posted 2 weeks ago and it starts getting a little more traction again, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, there we go. I like that, But no, like I said, y'all, you guys have both been amazing. By the way, I appreciate both y'all's time. And since it is your first time on the show, I do always have a final question for everybody. Okay. And this is for both of y'all. If y'all need to take a moment to think about it, I understand. And it is, do you feel successful? And if you do or do not, in what ways?
That's a hard.
Get a little deep. Get a little deep here.
Gave me that in the beginning.
Nah, facts, dude.
That's why I ask at the end, because every time someone sits down here with me, no one ever answers it the same way. Some people are interested in certain things, or something makes them feel successful that something else or someone else that does not feel successful for them. So that's why I always ask people. And next time I do have you guys on, I'll still ask you the same question.
I'll start and I'll answer it in 2 different ways. So I say yes. And that's because I can say as of right now, I made 13-year-old Kris proud. That being when I was in middle school and I was starting to see different things, and I had no real clue of like how I was going to find myself within like fashion and content creation and just what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. So I say yes in that regard. But as far as content creation and entrepreneurialism, not yet. Because I still got a lot of long-term goals that I'm challenging myself to make, and I feel like if God put them in my head, like we're gonna get them.
I like that.
I think my answer is the same as your last one. Like in an entrepreneur way, not really, but I think this year I have been taking a lot of been trying to turn my mind around a little bit, and especially looking at everything that's going on in the world. I'll sometimes compare myself, and I'll be like, I'm doing this at this age, and I have a lot going on, personal life. I have a 3-year-old son, and I'm barely have any downtime for anything. So comparing it in that way, and I'm like still able to provide house, roof, food, everything, still able to work 2-3 jobs, whatever, if it's like Jack's Photographers Hub and other volunteering jobs. So in that way, like, yes, I do. And I'm so grateful for, you know, experiencing life and being successful, I guess, in that way.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful answer, y'all. Like, you know, I always talk to people about this, right? It's like your life's a book. There's chapters in it. You know, maybe one chapter is not the best chapter, or another way I like to describe it is you're working towards a goal, one brush stroke at a time.
Yep.
As you keep stroking that brush, it's that pile of paint is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and also take you down different avenues. You never know who you meet, or you never know, maybe the next shoot opens up another door that you weren't expecting. Same for you. Or, you know, for me, the next interview leads me into someone else, right? A lot of people that reach out to be on the show are from people who have been on the show in the past, you know? Say, how'd you guys find me, by the way?
So I had been like knowing of your platform. I was just kind of waiting for the right time to reach out.
I understand.
So I think I followed you guys like probably over a year ago.
I appreciate you.
But with everything that's kind of coming up and seeing how the cards stacked, I was like, all right, I feel like you just kind of hitting this platform and having a new audience of people getting to know me and you as well would be nice and a good way to head start into that. But to more specifically answer what you asked, it was just through Instagram. I think I seen some people I was working with at the time hop on, and I was like, oh, okay, like, nah, this is okay.
I'm big. We talk to a lot of people in the art space here in Jax. We're really big on talking about that because it's something that I can't physically do. So that's why I find it so interesting. And, you know, like through networking, right? Whenever we're done here today, you're going to get a handful of stickers, so be prepared.
Okay.
And we take recommendations through people. Like, that's how a lot of people we met. Shout out to Dr. Dom from Old Soul and all of them. Like, he's recommended so many people over on this platform, him and his wife, DJ Larry Love, and then really just a mix of all kinds of other podcasters that we're involved with as well. Like, I'll see someone on someone's show, I'm like, and I'll reach out to the host. I'm like, hey, were they cool? Like, how'd you feel like that interview went? And they're like, oh no, dude, you should definitely have them on the show and just kind of cross promote. Like, you know, you're talking about Jim Graybeard, good friend of, I'm very good friends with him. Funny enough, his son-in-law got me the job that I'm working at now. Me and him work together. So
dope.
Yeah, we're
the Jim, man.
Jim is one of the most down to earth guys in the world. He was on a very early episode of this podcast, and we've known each other for 2-3 years now and become very good friends. Like, anytime I see him, I walk up, give him a big old hug, and I see his son-in-law every single day. Me and him work every day together. So it's cool to see like what your path like puts in front of you, right? You just never know who you're going to meet, what's going to go on next. So I think you guys are doing an amazing job, right? And also, don't forget, man, y'all are young. I'm not that much older than you. I'm not that much older than you, but like, you know, it just takes time. That's the thing that was my issue. I wanted everything now. I wanted, you know, my hard work. I feel like I deserve this. And at the end of the time, you know, whether it's like you were saying God or just the universe in general, maybe I wasn't ready for it at that time. Right. I'm very big on thinking that opportunities will present itself when it's really right and when you can actually deliver on those certain things. So I think you guys keep pushing it, keep killing it. And like I said, thank you guys again so much for your time today.
Of course.
Thank you guys.
Before we log off, before we do the socials.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say this one thing. For anybody listening, if there's anything that you want to do, that you're pondering on doing, that you haven't done yet, just do it. It might not be perfect. It might not be the best quality. It might not be anything, but they can't take it away. They can't take the fact that you did it away. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you did something, I feel like is stronger than anything, because it's a lot of things that I took a chance and did with like content or even just anything. And it's like, if I wouldn't have did that, I'd still be like, oh, I'm trying to do this or I'm about to do this. But when I actually go ahead and do it, I see like, okay, maybe I do or I don't like it. So if it's something y'all thinking about doing, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And stay endless, man. Forever endless. It's this poem that I'm going to be like putting on all my merchandise. It says, to never be boxed, to always be you, always believe the vision is true.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah, that's really nice.
I like that.
But yeah.
No, that's a solid answer. I literally have a tattoo on my arm. It says never a failure, always a lesson. That's been like a kind of a motto of my style, or me and Shannon's motto anytime we've been down and out is we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just keep on pushing. The people who stop moving, it's like a shark. And once you stop moving, you stop growing.
Yeah.
Mine on my thigh, it's forget the risk and take the fall. If it's what you want, it's worth it all.
Ooh,
Okay.
That's a bar right there. I like that.
Yeah.
No, and I think that stuff's cool, right? You know, we are all going to fail in some way, shape, or form. It's the way you pick yourself back up. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. It matters how many times you get back up and keep pushing. You know, life is hard. You know, we're in the content game. Content is hard now. It's not like back in the day when YouTube first started and everything else.
I know. I wish I would have started a YouTube channel.
Who you telling?
Like,
you know, when I wish I would have started the pod, COVID.
But,
yeah.
That's when everything blew up.
Yeah.
And I was like, and now I look back on it, I was like, there was an opportunity. You could have done it.
Yeah.
But
you're doing it now, though.
We are.
Like,
we are. We're doing our thing. And like I said, very proud of it. But I hope you guys know, you guys do always have an open invitation. Anytime you guys have something coming up or you want to come sit back down on the podcast, feel free to reach out. We're always big on having like, you know, follow-up episodes, whether it's like a half a year or a year later. Love to see you guys continued growth and see what you guys are working on next year.
One thing that you said keep pushing. Shout out to my pops though. He always told me to keep going. I'm gonna get it tatted on my hand right here. My pops. That's my rock.
I like
You know
it.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's nice.
But yeah. I guess we plug socials now.
Go right ahead, y'all.
Workshop coming September 12th.
5:30.
5:30 p.m. Go get you a ticket. It is on their website. That is jacksphotographershub.com. You can also find it on Eventbrite. And what's the other website?
Meetup.
Yes.
Meetup.
So you don't want to miss that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be taught by myself. It's going to be a vibe. You know what I'm saying? We going
He has put so much energy into this.
I'm telling you, it's going to be so fire. Everybody in the room going to listen. Get in the room.
That's right.
Get in the room. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I have 4 accounts. I didn't mention them all in the beginning. But I have 4 accounts. 2x.visions. That's where you'll see a lot of my camera work. Some of my client work. Then you have 2x.world with 3 underscores. That's where you'll see more of my modeling stuff, personal content. 2xENT. That's why I stream and post a lot of my clips for like all entertainment things. And then 2x Originals. That's like my production company. That'll be where all of my multimedia journalism stuff will be.
I like it.
We only have an Instagram, Jack's Photographers Hub, and I guess a website where you can purchase the tickets.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, I like it all, y'all. Make sure you guys go follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff right there. Everything they just mentioned will be listed in the description below, so you guys can click it, go straight to what they're talking about there. And guys, if you're interested in the event, make sure you guys go out there, go show some support, go learn something, man. You never know. We all think we know everything until we go out there and we learn something. We're like, oh, maybe I wasn't that much into it. And you know, we're all young. We're all trying to figure it out on the photography side, the video side. So go out there and support. And while you guys are out there liking, subscribing, and following, make sure you guys give us a follow on the social media. It's going to be at Who Are You Pod from everything from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all the normal spots. Make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel. It's going to be Who Are You podcast on there. And my final thing, y'all, if you feel like you'd be a good fit for the show, you're an artist, an entrepreneur, photographer, videographer, really just a mix of anything, you feel like you'd be a good fit, feel free to shoot me a message in the DMs. That's how we had these amazing guests on here today. Or you guys can email me. It's going to be whoareyoupod@yahoo.com, and maybe we'll have you guys on a future episode. But thank you guys again so much for your time, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.